on my way to Midland, North Carolina, which is just about 30 miles east of Charlotte, North Carolina. Right now I'm in Pittsburgh, and I'm heading down there to visit the Carolina Banjo Company, which is a relatively new company, although the builder has been building fine furniture and has been a woodworker and craftsman for years. I've seen some of his work, and it's absolutely gorgeous, and in fact I plan on purchasing one, not now, but talking to him about it. And so I'm going down to see what it's all about. And I was supposed to leave tomorrow, but as a friend of mine has said, that I have wanderlust, and it's kind of true, because if I have to go somewhere in the morning, and I was going to leave in the morning, then I just lay awake and think about it. So I decided to leave in the night, and I'll probably pull over and sleep somewhere. I've got a place in the back I can sleep, and we'll probably get there tomorrow afternoon, and then I will meet on Saturday morning. So here we go. Nice road trip. Good. So here I am at the Carolina Banjo Company in Midland, North Carolina. We're going to meet Ryan Navey, and this is his wood store, his wood shop. Well, not his wood shop, but his wood store, where it all begins. And so Ryan, you want to tell us a little bit about the woods here, what you've got, where you get this stuff?
Well, it just comes from all over, but most of it's local. All this is walnut from a local sawmill just down the street. The trees came from here in Cabarrus County. There's some cherry that came from Davidson, North Carolina, not far away. Very pretty cherry. It's curly, Of course, you can't tell it now. And I just have some other various things. There's mahogany and just all kind of stuff mixed in. Poplar.
When you see this, I came down here because I wanted to try his banjos, and I will tell you this, and I'll probably tell you this again, but there is nothing compared to sitting playing one of these things as the clips that you see on the side. Even though the clips are good and the sight is great, when you put one of these in your hands, it's simply amazing. And I'm actually kind of in shock because when you come out here and you see where it all starts to what he turns it into, it's amazing. So we're going to go inside. He's also done, you had said that you did furniture and...
Yes, I've built and restored furniture for 20 years. I've gained just a ton of woodworking experience over those years.
He's got a would you call it a pie crust table? Is that what you call that?
Yeah.
And it is just gorgeous, and it looks like, you see a lot of these furniture today, and you see the laminate carved inlay, and that's, I guess, what I assumed it was, and he said that's actually hand carved. So we're going to go inside, look at the workshop, and then we'll show you his banjos, which are, again, simply amazing. So when I saw this table, I was thinking this was just like cut, or carved but laid on top and laminated. But this and this is actually, is that correct? Same piece of wood.
Same piece of wood, yeah.
And it's just amazing that that's just hand carved right on top of there.
All this is turned away on the lathe, just like a giant banjo. And then the edge is carved.
Okay, that's just amazing. If you look at the carvings even on the legs. So we're heading into the workshop. So we're in the workshop. You see he also builds guitars and I believe fiddles he's built. And this piece of wood here, tell me about that piece of wood right there.
That piece came from East Boulevard in Charlotte, North Carolina. It's a giant old walnut tree. Died of natural causes. And I was very fortunate to get some of it. It's beautiful walnut.
Oh, yeah.
The banjos that are available now are actually made from that, the walnut.
Oh,
banjos.
nice.
And it's a curly. It has figure. You can't really see it much in the raw like that, but it's a beautiful. And just to put this board into scale, let me walk over here to it. I mean,
oh yeah,
the thing is giant.
It is. It's
Very,
probably 8 foot tall, I'd guess.
Yeah,
maybe more.
Just almost 8 feet.
Yeah. So he's got several things here. He's got a beautiful view as he works right out there. But he's got his other tools here, and he's going to show you some of the processes that he's done. So we're going to start here at the beginning, and Ryan's going to show us what he does here. So.
Well, this is kind of a boring stage, but the very first stage is to assemble the rim. These pieces are just glued and clamped together. Let me grab one from. They're assembled and glued together like this, and then they're mounted on the lathe and trued up and all glued together.
Okay, so he just uses a strap to keep that together. Makes sense.
Yeah, it's very
keeps the pressure on it.
Very good way to clamp it up. I want to stop that. I've got to.
Okay, so after he assembles that, he's going to put this in the lathe. So that's what he does.
Yeah, these pieces are glued up, and then they're machined flat, so they'll be then glued together. And it's not rocket science. first step. Then they're smoothed up and made perfectly flat, and then glued together, and eventually, like this, they're just glued together, and that forms the rim blank. And I like using the segmented rims because steam bent rims, the steaming of the wood makes it a little softer. It doesn't give it quite the sound that I want.
Right.
I like the segmented rims sound better.
So these are finished rims right here.
Well, they're just glued up. They're not machined or anything. From this point, I'll put them back on the lathe and turn them down to where they need to be, and veneer them, and put the rim caps and whatever I want to do.
You know, it's amazing as I'm watching him do all this. Again, when you see the finished product, I don't think people realize or think about really what goes into the building of these.
Yeah, they don't look like anything until they're almost done.
Well, this is just amazing. One of the things you'll notice about Ryan's banjos is the carvings on them, and again, these aren't laminates; these are things he has designed and carved, and he's actually drawn these. He has paintings around the house that he's done, but you can tell the artist in them. So he designs all these patterns, and then draws them, and he's got a file of them.
Yeah, just various patterns for the carving designs. I've spent a great deal of time drawing them and nitpicking them. I've got many to choose from. I haven't even carved them all yet. I just keep designing them, and eventually they'll all get carved.
So once they're on the paper, then how do you transfer them to the instrument itself?
Well, I transfer them to a piece of leather first, and then trace the leather
Okay.
to whatever I'm working on. Here's some of the cut patterns
So that's
from some of the various banjos that you can see on the site.
actually leather.
It is.
Okay. So you trace that on, and then you carve them by hand.
Oh yes,
You
they're
have-
slowly carved. These are for the neck heels. But yeah, they're just slowly carved onto the banjos.
I noticed over here that you have your carving tools.
Yeah, these are just some of the smaller ones. Various size gouges and whatever I might need to carve.
And you said to do a heel takes how long?
Well, some of the nice ones, the detailed ones, can take up to 40 hours. And they're very time consuming, but they're worth it.
They are worth it,
They
yeah.
look great. So
Yeah, that's what I noticed. Again, what you see, and even maybe what you see in this video, is nothing compared to what they look like when they're in your hand. I was highly impressed. I'm going to tell you, there are very few banjos that I pick up and I go, wow. And as soon as I played, I like all of them. I've got one I've picked out that I'm going to actually get myself. But every one of them are just simply amazing what you do with
well,
them.
these are some of the carving patterns that I've been using in the past.
So you don't copy these designs. These are your designs.
Oh, certainly. I've been doing this for 20 years, and it's taken me a long time to get to this point to design and be able to carve such fine detail. It's really taken a long time to get to this point, and I think that's one thing that I'm most proud of as far as the instruments go. That they play great, they sound great, but the artistic details are really set the originality of the instrument, and into the future, I think that'll be what's most appreciated about them.
Right.
Well, maybe with the sound too.
Well, I was looking at some of these, some of the drawings that he had, and they're so detailed. I would have a hard time following them with a pen,
Yeah.
let alone carving them out. So it's amazing, and again, this is where it all starts. But wait till you see some of the instruments. You're going to be amazed.